Okay, I finally made it back to finish the haul. My battery died on my camera and we had to go somewhere, so I didn't get it charged in time. So I said, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And now a week and a half has passed. I got a cold. I was really sick for like a week and I've just now made it back. But I can finally finish this haul for you. So this section of books is just kind of really random, kind of more resource type books. I didn't really necessarily have any one kid in mind for them. Some of them I'll use in the school year. Some of them I don't know what I'll do with them. Some of them I may not use at all, but they just looked really good. So I got the Boys Book of Survival. So it says to be confident, be brave, be prepared, be a hero. Ever wonder how to survive a tornado, a duel, a shark attack, an avalanche, in bear country, an essay crisis, your teachers, plus tons of other amazing survival skills. So I really have no idea what we're going to use this for. We probably won't actually use it in school, but I think my kids will have a lot of fun looking through and reading these and then teaching us how to do it. So I'm thinking it will be kind of a good reading comprehension drill every once in a while to just give either my 3rd grader or my 6th grader one of them, or even to read it to my kindergartner, one little section, they're not very long, and then have them re-teach us what they've learned. I think that could be just a fun exercise in how to spit back out what you have learned. I found 2 books from the Who Was series. So I got Who Was Abraham Lincoln, and then I got Who Was George Washington. I've actually already used both of them a little bit with my kindergartner because we've studied both these presidents in our early American history. And we will be going over the American Revolution, I think February is when we start that, somewhere around there. And so we will definitely dive into this Who Was George Washington during that time. It will probably be some sort of read aloud. Then I found, and this was really fun, so I checked out from the library a while ago the book Children Like Me, and I really liked it. And I wanted to use it in our geography curriculum. We ended up not doing geography right now, or at least not world geography. But I found these and they were so fun, but I'm missing one. So these were apparently Chick-fil-A in their books was giving out little books. So these are just little books specific to each continent from that book. So this one is Asia. And so it just has all of the different countries. And I don't know if it has all the same countries that are in the book, but it has a lot of them. And I was like, this is perfect. So we had Asia, and it had Australia and surrounding countries. We had the Americas. We had Europe, but sadly we are missing Africa, and because these were Chick-fil-A specials, there's nowhere to find them. I looked, I got on eBay and Amazon and whatnot and looked, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So we'll definitely have these and have to go through them, and then if we actually use them for anything, we'll have to check out the Children Just Like Me book, so that we can get the African countries in there as well. Okay, this book, my children can't figure out how to use it, and it's really fun, it's really different. It's called Meanwhile, and it's kind of a choose your own adventure, sort of. So you as you're reading, I'm just gonna turn to a random page, you make a decision, and you follow the line, so the line will tell you this is the page you go to. Sorry, that page is a really bad example. Here we go. So it kind of looks like a comic book, and when you get to points, you have to make a decision, like, do you want it to work, or do you want to go save yourself from this? You can see down here, like, you have to choose which direction you want to go. And each time you make a decision, you follow until you get to one of these little tabs, and you turn to that tab until you get to a point where you either destroy the world, which is what happens a lot, or I don't know, I don't even know how it ends, or the story just like kind of ends, and you're like, okay, moving on. So my kids are struggling to figure out how this works. It's a little complicated, but they've had fun with it. It says it has 3,856 story possibilities, so we have a lot of different like options and choices we can do. So that's a really fun book. The next one is a series of books. So you can see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series of books. So these are dinosaurs. But these are not nonfiction books. These are a fictional story about, so this one is about an Archaeopteryx. And it teaches you a lot about it, but it teaches it in a story form instead of just giving them nonfiction things. So we got Archaeopteryx. We got Ichthyosaurus. We got Woolly Mammoth. We got Deinonychus, I think. Cute. And we got Rudiodon. Apparently a giant crocodile. So I got these with my 3rd grader in mind. He really likes dinosaurs. My kindergartner also likes dinosaurs, so I think we'll probably end up reading those with him as well. My 3rd grader has read them. He said they were fun, they were great. He probably won't read them again, but that's just kind of how life is. Okay, I also found this human body book. So it is the Fascinating Human Body book, and it really is just facts about the human body. I have no idea when we will read this, when we will use it. It was my cousin's. She was selling it, and she said he's now in 4th grade. 4th grader liked to just look through it. And so I could see my kids maybe just looking through it, but I also could see possibly next year we'll be doing the human body, and I could see just pulling out like a random fact for the day. That would be really fun to do. So that was just fun, and it's really big, so it has a lot of facts in it. And because there's only 1 or 2 on each page, it's not intimidating at all for kids to look through. Some of the DK, like encyclopedia books, I feel like are just really intimidating because you open it and there's so much wording on it. Whereas this really is just like a fact per page. Really big, really easy, really bold. And my kids will be able to digest that without feeling, oh my gosh, I have to like dig through all this wording. So it's a fun book. So I did grab this. This is like the only curriculum really that I grabbed. There was some really good curriculum. If I had been looking for curriculum, if I hadn't started school yet, I could have probably outfitted my whole school by finding curriculum there. They didn't have any of the stuff I was currently using, but they did have some things that really were enticing, but I managed to stay away and not get things I didn't actually need. But I did get this because I was like, this could be fun. I don't know what I'll use it for, but. So this is Teaching with Favorite Newberry Books. So basically, it gives you, let's see, how many books? There are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There are 25 books in here, and for each book, it just gives you ideas for, so like this one is a book called The View from Saturday, and it gives you vocabulary words to pull out to work on vocabulary. It gives you ideas to do during the chapters. It gives you ideas to do for projects with them. Just different things you can do with them to make the books maybe a little more. And a lot of these books are books that we either have or I want my kids to read. For example, we read Ella Enchanted last year, so we could go back and do that. There's Walk Two Moons, The Giver, Shiloh. I read that with my set when my now third grader was in second grade. The True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle, which is one of my all-time favorite books. Number of the Stars. Hatchet, we have that, and I would like for my oldest to read it. The Whipping Boy, we have that. Dear Mr. Henshaw, The Westing Game, Bridge to Terabithia, A Wrinkle in Time, The Witch of Blackbird Pond, and a lot of others. So I just thought this would be really fun to pick one of those books that we have, do it as a read aloud, and then work on like a project together, work on some of these things to develop some reading comprehension strategies, because we don't necessarily do a ton of reading comprehension in our homeschool. Our language arts has a little bit that we do with it, but not a ton. And while we do read alouds, we don't necessarily do much with them. We just read about them and enjoy them. So I think this will just help us add one more dimension. And then the very last thing, and I'm really excited about this, it'll be interesting, I guess, to see how I use it. So this is called a battle box, and this is for the Revolutionary War. And like I said, we are doing the Revolutionary War next semester. So in this, it says 13 pieces of war memorabilia. So let me show you what this is. So it comes with a little book that goes through and gives you all sorts of information about the different battles and different important people in the Revolutionary War. And this isn't necessarily totally what we're going to use, but what we're going to use is we have all these little things to show them. So we have, this is a $1 used by the Continental Congress. This is the Continental currency. Obviously these aren't real, these are replicas. We have, this is 1/3 of $1. So this is just some more of the currency that was used. Can you even see that? I don't even know if it's focusing. This is George Washington's commission to be the commander-in-chief. This is a flag. This is the Pennsylvania Light. So apparently each military unit had its own flag because we didn't have the American flag yet. And so this was what was flown in, I think I read Yorktown and a couple of other big battles. This was the flag that actually was flown over. And we have information about what all the like parts are on here that we can talk about. This was a letter from, I believe this is from King George to Parliament, stating that the colonies were in revolution. I think this was in 1775. Oh no, that's what this is. This was it. I don't remember what this is. I don't know. This is the speech that King George gave to Parliament. This is George Washington's expenses. So George Washington was not paid for his duty, but his expenses were, and so he kept count of his expenses. And this is a page from the journal where he kept record of his expenses. We have a painting of, this is the Battle of Yorktown. So we'll be able to go over that. This is what a stamp looked like for the Stamp Act. Let's see, this is oh, that one I didn't recognize. That was a letter from George Washington to Benedict Arnold, obviously before Benedict Arnold became a traitor. This is a letter of surrender from General Cornwallis. This is a painting of where, I think this is the Battle of Bunker Hill, and where, oops, I think I'm holding it upside down, where the army, a map of where the armies would have been. Maybe I wasn't holding it upside down. Maybe it goes in a circle. See, I haven't studied it yet. We have a recruitment poster for the colonies. And then we have a big, the Declaration of Independence. So, I'm really excited about this. It will be fun to go through all of the little pieces with my boys as we talk about them. I think it will just be really fun to go through all of these pieces and show my boys that these stories we're telling are real. Like, they're not made up. I think sometimes history seems, even though like intuitive, like we know they're real, like our minds tell us they're real, but do they really seem real? These things were so long ago, and we make things sound sometimes, I think, not necessarily realistic. And it's good. I think it will be fun to show them like that these things were real, that we have the documents and we have the coins and we have all of these things that show us like what life was like, and that these aren't just made up stories. So that's the end of this haul. I know it was huge. Thank you for sticking around with me the entire time, and hang in there because I've got some more hauls coming.